House of the Dragon definitely had some dark and sad moments from the beginnings of the Dance of the Dragons in Season 1, but none of them truly compare to the darkest scene from the books that will absolutely shock audiences in Season 2. If you are unfamiliar with House of the Dragon's source material, you may not see Daemon as evil. However, Season 2, if it goes like the books, will reveal how sinister Daemon truly can be. And as much of the fan base is Team Black, what we will discuss today just may justify those that support the Greens. Spoilers from the source material ahead. This is the story of Daemon Targaryen's most evil plot, best known as the story of blood and cheese. As Season 1 ended with the death of Lucerys, the story of revenge will begin shortly thereafter. Devastated by her son's death, Rhaenyra and her Black Council had yet to decide on a way to strike back against the Greens. Unlike in the show, Daemon is not present during this time in the books. He's actually in Harrenhal, as he had taken the castle from Simon Strong. Instead, a raven brings a message from Daemon that simply reads, "An eye for an eye, a son for a son, Lucerys shall be avenged." And what comes next is the part of the story infamously known as Blood and Cheese. The horrendous plot against the Greens, while carried out by the two characters known as Blood and Cheese, based on the source material, is in fact orchestrated by Daemon Targaryen himself. He's able to direct this plot with many connections from his time as commander of the City Watch, as well as his relationship with the White Worm, also known as Mysaria, Lady Misery. Mysaria has many undesirable connections like Daemon. Communicating in their secret ways, Mysaria put in motion Daemon's plans for revenge. Keep in mind, many fans do debate over so many events in the source material because our author George R. R. Martin makes it clear that the history documented in Fire and Blood is not exactly written by reliable sources, as we have 3 sources that oftentimes have contradicting accounts. What happens next, in my opinion, is the darkest plot point throughout the entire Targaryen civil war known as the Dance of the Dragons. The identity of these characters, Blood and Cheese, are up for debate, especially the character Cheese, because he is very well informed of the layouts within the Red Keep, and this benefits the two as they infiltrate the Hand's Tower where Alicent has taken residence since her son Aegon had been crowned king. It is important to note how well the character Cheese not only knows the layout of the Red Keep, but also the different patterns and routines of those that reside there. Specifically, Blood and Cheese are very aware of Queen Helena's routine to bring her children to see their grandmother Alicent every night before bed. And this is just the opportunity that they need. Once they were able to sneak into Alicent's chambers, they tied her up and killed her bedmaid and awaited the arrival of Queen Helena. Helena walked herself and her 3 children, Jaehaerys and Jaehaera, and her youngest child, Maelor, right into her mother's room as usual, only to be taken by surprise by the 2 undesirable men's trap. Blood killed the Queen's guardsmen and barred the door shut, with both Queen Helena's sons, the Prince Maelor and Jaehaerys, held with weapons to their throats. The awful plot was revealed. Their weapons in hand, they presented Helena with an impossible choice: an eye for an eye, a son for a son. Helena first tried to reason with the men, but that did not work. She tried to offer her life. That as well did not work. They were after a son for a son. Cheese commanded that Helena choose which of her sons would be killed. The youngest son, Maelor, was the choice. Perhaps due to him being too young to realize what was happening, or maybe Helena thought of her oldest son, Jaehaerys, was a worse choice, as he was Aegon II's first heir. Regardless of her reasoning, it was a horrendous choice no mother should have to make. However, after naming Maelor, Helena was tricked. Blood and Cheese beheaded Prince Jaehaerys instead. They harmed nobody further, but did take the boy's severed head with them before leaving. They left behind the Queen with her boy's remaining body, her mother, her daughter Princess Jaehaera, and of course the child she had named for death, Prince Maelor. This brutal act established that there would never be a peace between the 2 Targaryen factions. Blood has spilled on both sides, but the blood of children, I'd say, is the most unforgivable act. Of course, we can view Aemon killing Lucerys as just as bad, depending on the version you believe is most true. House of the Dragon suggested the death of Lucerys was accidental, but there's no version of Prince Jaehaerys' death that we know of that can be deemed accidental. Instead, this was the result of intention. the intentions of Daemon Targaryen, if the accounts are true. Perhaps House of the Dragon will present the events of Blood and Cheese with further nuance. If not, then I think the debate of Daemon Targaryen's moral compass is pointed at E for evil. Before this, it was a dispute for the line of succession. Now, this is a revenge story for both sides. The dance truly begins, and there is no turning back. Hey everyone, thank you so much for watching. If you like this video, click here for another that I think you'll enjoy. And make sure you're subscribed for more videos just like this one in the future.